All right. Welcome back. Episode 8. Really excited. Hopefully, we got a lot of these kinks worked out. And I'm really excited. This isn't exactly a league that I just started covering last year. A little bit mountain boys motorsports out west in the western part of the state. And I will tell you, there's some really competitive trucks coming out of there. And we got one of those as a guest tonight. And we also have Sarah Phillips. She's from Smoke and Speed over on the shore polars on from Delmarva. So, like I said, go ahead and start sharing this. Put it on your timelines. Let your friends tag all those that you know are going to want to tune in tonight, because we have, like I said, we have Ernie Deal, and we have Sarah Phillips on. And we'll get into the sponsors in just a second. Where is the stream? All right. So I hope you all had a good week. I recovered from my fall the week before in Berryville. And so those of you who are thinking about me, I appreciate it. And, the cameras they took a bit of a hit, and I had to fix some of that stuff. And means you just have to, every time you do something stupid, it ends up costing you money. So, so thanks. We've got some things figured out, and we're ready for this weekend. So it's a big weekend in Miller's Tavern. We got the Spring Nationals come into town, and it's going to feature the 62 modified 4x4. It's also going to feature the super modified 2-wheel drive trucks. The mini modifieds, as well as something we don't get to see around here, the NCPA Light Pro Stocks. So I'm really excited about that. And like I said, share, tell me where you're at, and tune in, because we might pull a question from you and surprise our guests a little bit. Don't go crazy off the wall kind of thing, just tune in, and let's make a show out of it. So like I said, I'm Will, and this is Will Whitt Productions, the basement right here, Woodbridge, Virginia. That's where we're doing this from. Well, I want to thank Big L Tire out of Harrisonburg. They helped me out a lot. They have 5 convenient locations in Virginia to help you out. Check them out on the web at bigltireco.com and 800-289-2445. We also want to thank AED Custom Graphics out of Richmond, Virginia. They've done our hats and our hoodies and our T-shirts, and they look awesome. And they can help you out, and they can help your business stand out from the crowd with full vehicle wraps, custom banners, office signage, company logos, goal tracking, and team building graphics. The possibilities are endless. They also do our bumper stickers displayed on many a polling vehicle across the land. And we thank you for doing that and joining our family and helping us grow. We also want to thank Cook Auto Group out of Colonial Heights, Virginia. They've come on to help sponsor us, and these guys are good. They're going to be pulling a modified 4x4 later in the year. So I'm excited about that. We are at Gladys. We had 6 modified trucks, and Gladys isn't, it's not a Winchester. It's not a Miller's Tavern. It's growing. It's definitely growing. But, you could see 6, you could see 8. You just don't know. But when you go to Miller's Tavern, like you're going to do this Saturday, assuming the rain stays at bay, you're going to see 20, 25 modified 4x4s. And the same thing when in the Southern Showdown at the end of the year, you're going to see a whole bunch of trucks, at least 20, 22 there. So Gladys was good. Footloose did not run. It had a breakage that they realized once they got there. So tough luck for them. And I don't know what happened at the end of the run, the end of the night for Michael Shiflett. I looked at the video. It just wasn't usable, so I didn't put it on there. So I apologize for that. Anyway, I think something got in the way of the camera, and it threw the focus off, so I didn't use it. Yeah, Cook Auto Group. They'll help you out. They are also the sponsor this year for Dragon Motorsports for the 62 modified 4x4 class. Cook Auto Group is your source in Central Virginia for auto sales, collision repair, and towing. 804-451-0290. All right. Awesome. Good stuff. Hey, how are you, Brian? Okay, and Will Whitt Productions. I'm really thrilled to death. We just went over 2,100 subscribers on YouTube. That's great. Videos are coming out. I know we're backlogged. We've been really busy. We've covered a lot of polling early, and we just we've been that busy. We haven't had that much time to get them out. We're gonna get them out as well as we got some promotional things going on as well. We're doing T-shirts, hoodies, hats. We're doing them. So you can come see me for those things. T-shirts, hats, hoodies. Koozies, we do koozies. Polar cards are great. This row back here we've done, and Jerry Young hasn't gotten his yet, but he will soon. That's his new one. That's up there. So we do polar cards. We do all kinds of stuff, not just photos and videos. I mean, we use those for anything we can think of. And then promotion, flyers, a lot of video teasers. You see those. So, but also I put the other business on there, the Rodan Fields. Contact Melody at melody@willwitt.com. And, it's from the makers of Proactive. So if you want to join our team, of selling that kind of stuff in the off season, my skin takes its toll throughout the year. So I have to repair at the end of the year. And, now she's hooked me up with some nice, SPF 50 sunscreen. So I'm going to start using that, and she's going to be happy because she's not going to have to look at old Leatherneck all year. So, kudos to Mel for hooking that up. And, she's willing to take on team members too. And like I said, they're from the makers of Proactive. So that's good stuff. All right, let's get into the show now that we've taken care of the business side of things. We have Ernie Deal, and we're going to talk to him first, and get him on the phone. Now, like I said, he's a mountain boy, and he pulls a mean small block.
Please enjoy this ringback tone while the U.S. cellular customer is reached.
I like ringback tones.
Hello.
Ernie Deal. This is Will Whitt. How are you?
Will.
Can you hear me
Good,
okay?
how are you? Yeah, I can hear you fine.
It's a motorsports league based out of the mountains of Virginia. That's what we put on the bumper sticker anyway. You come on to the show all the way from Millboro, Virginia. Welcome to the show, Ernie.
Oh, thanks for having me, Will.
All right, so let's get into it. 2017 Dragon Motorsports, they're going to run the small block class 4x4 for points. And what do you think? When you first heard about running for a points championship with Dragon Motorsports, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was looking forward to having, Temple add in the class. Didn't know how much, and still don't know how much, how tight I'm going to stick to the points.
Right.
We've got some polls coming up here local that's overlapping with some of the Dragon polls, so just got to decide which route I want to take.
No, I understand that. That's you have to figure out, one, how many polls you're going to go to. Okay, if you set it out and say, hey, it's 25, well, that might be 5 to 10 mountain boys. It might be 10 to 20 to, well, it looks like it's going to be somewhere around the neighborhood of 20 of Dragon Motorsports. But some of those are going to overlap. I know Harrisonburg is going to overlap, so some of those will overlap. So yeah, but you're right. It is a choice that you're going to have to look at. You've already got 2 wins going into this young season. Does that help you think, hey, you know what? I got a chance. I might go after this.
It makes it harder because at first I wasn't going to, I was going to try to stay around home, and next week Mountain Boys kicks off their season at Highland, and then we've got a pull with Dragon down in Lively. So it's decision time now, which way I want to go. So.
Right. Hey, so we've added the class, and it's a good class. I think there's a strong class of like 9 and 10, 11 trucks that could be there if you add Rusty Chestnut and some of those other mountain boys. You could have a big class where you could show up, 12, 13 trucks. So I know it's going to be tough. Hey, let's focus on you guys a little bit. Let's focus on Mountain Boys. Give us a little bit of history about the Mountain Boys motorsports program.
It actually started in 2010, which I wasn't in the polling when it started, but from what I understand, they had polls at the Highland County Fair, and they always ran off interstate rules. And some of the local guys that was pulling in at the time, they started two classes. They started a 62 modified and a 6,000 hot street.
Right.
And them guys, they sit down amongst themselves and come up with a set of rules that they wanted to mirror it off of what Temple was doing with Dragon at the time. Right. And then they went actually to the fair board at Highland and asked them if they would be willing to part with Interstate and kind of take on this local organization. Of course, the Highland County Fair Board, they agreed to that, and then more promoters around here, more poles started coming here locally, and they just started adding poles, here in this area, and now it's really grew into where, we've got 15 to 20 tracks up in this area that follow Mountain Boys now.
Yeah, and y'all have some good tracks over there, and like I said, it's some good Virginia dirt out west. So that's nothing to shake your head about or put your thumb up about it. No, they're good. They know what they're doing, and you got a lot of good trucks, so that's always good. So what are some of the bigger events that Mountain Boys has got lined up? I know you mentioned the Highland County Fair. There's also one in Marlinton, and what else you got going on this year?
We've got, of course, up here in this area, when you talk about truck polling, the Highland County Fairs, like the Super Bowl of polls in this area, that's the one where if there was ever a polling truck built in the last 10 years, that's the one poll that they go to.
All right.
They come out of the woodwork for that one. But, of course, us here in Millboro with the fire department, we actually put on 2 polls a year with Mountain Boys, and we've got Weir's Cave. There's several good tracks around. Craigsville, White, down at Craigsville, White Tires.
Right.
He's kind of took us on, and he's actually and he's really got a nice track.
Yeah, that was you might not know this, and I don't think you remember this, but 2013 was my first year filming full time. And Craigsville was my first poll, and I remember it distinctly because I lost my tachometer, I lost my speedometer on my SVT Contour, which I wasn't thrilled about, and I never got it back and never recovered. So I've been driving the Expedition since then, and then I had to buy a Melody, something else. So so I was upset. I was thrilled, and then coming home, I was like, oh my gosh, how fast am I going? Yeah, I didn't know. So that's good. I wanted to personally thank you and Aaron for coming on with us this past year, and letting us help you guys out with that promotion. And what else do you think needs to happen in the western part of the state? What's good about it, and what needs to get better?
I think what we need around here is you can go to a Dragon event, down in y'all's area, down around Richmond, and the crowd is so much more than what you get up here. The population's just so much less up here that it's hard to get the new crowd to come in, and you got to figure out something that'll draw in a different crowd. You pretty much up in this area, you get the same people that go to each poll. You don't have the big cities around where you can draw in a crowd to pull in new people. Right.
And I'm the ambassador for Facebook and boosting and things like that. Has that helped you guys out any doing some of the newer stuff, the newer style? I know you've used us for posters and things like that, but what about what have you seen with the Facebook pages and things?
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, now it seems like it used to be you would pay for advertising in the local papers, and you get so much more out of Facebook. You're going to get a lot more people that see it, and especially with you pretty much are in with every poller on the East Coast almost, and so when you post something or advertise something, there's a lot of eyes that see that.
I'm going to remind you that next time I need you to do something. I'm going to say, hey, remember that one time you were on the radio show and you said, I'm the man that's connected with every poller? Well, that's a great point. We use it daily for our lives. Why wouldn't we want to use it to help promote the sport that we love and that we get out and cover? Because it gives. I've always said this. We might not have a professional, TV crew coming out to you guys, but if I can make it seem like you're getting the same type of coverage that the big boys are getting at the NTPA or the PPL, well, then that's going to inspire that next generation of puller to come out and want to step into the ring with the lizard or the outcast as you call it now. It's going to talk to that person and say, hey, look, there is coverage here. You don't have to, just rely on your GoPro or your friend's cell phone video that's probably filmed straight up and down as opposed to sideways. So hopefully it helps. And, the pictures, I think, always help, for posters and things like that. So thanks for, bringing us on and helping us. Now, hey, last week I heard you made a comment and you said that Ivanhoe was one of the best places as far as scenery. Okay, because it's right by the creek there. So you like Ivanhoe, and y'all pulled there this weekend, did you not? Did you get that in?
Well, we didn't actually make it. We were going to go Sunday and had something come up, but so we didn't actually get to make it down. I know they postponed Friday night due to rain, so they ended up running Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
Of course, Saturday we were planning on heading to Fredericksburg, and that got rained out about 15. Once we got about 15 miles down the road, so we were going to go to Ivanhoe on Sunday, and something come up, so we just decided to stay around here, stay around home.
Well, sometimes that you need to do that. You need to stay local, and I was really upset about Fredericksburg. I still have a good amount of money tied up in that poll, trying to help them out and promote it, and they're good. They're taking care of it. I think we're going to try to find another date for that. But I tell you, rain it always gets you, and somehow it can sidetrack plans, even the best of best plans. So if Ivanhoe is the most scenic place, what's your favorite place to pull?
I believe I'd have to say, I love the showdown down at Temples. That seems like that's pulling at a different level. You see all there's any kind of pullings there. You can see any type of truck, any type of tractor. That's an awesome weekend. And then I love Williamston. Middle of the winter, nothing going on, and I love that. That's a really nice place down there.
Yeah, it is. It's a really nice. Ken Whitley would tell you that he built that dome, and I tell you, it's a nice thing. It really is. Now, me, I go up to Keystone, I get a little bit blown away by all that stuff, but because it's low key, and there's still about 40 hooks a night. It's good action, there's not a tractor in sight. Then the tractors are near and dear to my heart, but still, it's a good truck pull. It's a good crowd, it's a good time, and it's good competition. So I'm with you on that one. I like that one, and actually I got to do something for Ken here pretty soon. Okay, what is the funniest story you've ever had pulling?
Well, it wasn't funny at the time, but I remember a few years back we was out probably at Gap Mills, West Virginia, and I probably made it about the 50-foot mark, and all of a sudden it just felt like the bottom dropped out of the truck. And so I stopped and get out, and my wheel, hub, everything's just laying on the ground. It all broke off, so that was pretty entertaining, trying to get it back to the trailer and get everything loaded up.
Yeah, those front end loaders, they can only do so much. Those somehow you got to roll it, pull it, cable it, winch it in there.
Yeah, I think we had a couple winches, and then we had to block it up and strap it down. It was a time consuming trying to get it loaded up and safe to travel home. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think the funniest wheel story I've ever heard or seen is it Leon Haney's tractor Cujo lost a wheel, and it rolled. The wheel made a full pull, but the tractor and He's just out from behind the tractor, or on the side of the tractor comes this wheel rolling down. And I remember that. That was years ago. It's probably been 10 years now. So yeah, it's never a good thing anytime a wheel comes off, because that's a major component.
No, anytime you break at the track, it just makes everything worse.
Mm-hmm.
Especially something like that where it takes multiple people and equipment to get you back. It's just makes for a not so fun night, that's for sure.
All right, now I'm going to try to do something here. Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. All right. All right. Now, what I'm trying to pull up. I don't know if it's going to pull up. That didn't pull up. Let's talk a little bit for a second about your the news that happened in Bath County with your with baby Layton. Let's talk about that. The gender reveal going viral. Tell us about what was your idea for that? How the heck did y'all get that many views? Tell me about it.
I'll be honest, I don't know. We never dreamed that it would go that crazy, but one of the wife's friends had seen it in a sprint car or their track car, so she wanted to do it. So we ordered the stuff, and once we went to the doctor and found out what we were having, we practiced a few times to make sure we got it right or how we wanted to do it. And when we posted the video, we never dreamed that it would go like it did. And there was a Chevy Facebook page, I think, that picked it up, and I mean, it just went crazy. I think now it's close to 1.6 million views. And every once in a while, we'll still see it pop up on our timeline.
All right.
From somebody sharing or something.
I think we might have it. Let's see if we got it. All right, let's see if this. Oh. All right, so we're watching this video, and but the original one had like 1.6 million views.
It was up there at like.
Good grief! And that's a really unique way to do it, to reveal it. And literally, you had reporters come out, or were they just sharing the video that Laura had taken? What was the deal there?
We had a news company out of Roanoke, WSLF10, that they actually called and did a little clip on it, and they showed it on their news broadcast.
Well, that's really cool, because that kind of shows us how connected we really are. Because try to find Millboro, okay? It's impact around the world now because of that. I mean, that's in YouTube for all time,
I guess 2 years ago at Williamston, I had a boy hollering over the fence or over the handrail, and I went back there, and that was his first question. He said, "Ain't that the truck that blows pink smoke?"
Pink smoke, I like that. Well, that's good. That's good, and hopefully you'll be popular because of some Will Whitt Productions videos. That's what I want you to be popular for.
There you go.
Now, I'm a little just to be completely transparent. Of all the 400 videos I've ever released, Ernie, we're talking about 1.3 million views. Your baby's gender reveal is like more trending than Will Whitt Productions will ever be. I mean, I'm telling you, it's gonna grow, and people are gonna. It's gonna hit 10 million down the road, and we're gonna laugh and we're gonna say, "My gosh, that's more popular than tractor pulling." So. Guys, I'm not telling you, ladies, y'all don't need to go have a baby just so for the sake we can. But if y'all are ready to do that type of filming, we'll do that. And some of the money, the profit on that. So, yeah, that's good. That's awesome, Ernie. Is there any to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, there's. With truck pulling, there's a lot of hours in the garage moving your hitch, playing with this, playing with that. And, for the last several years, Anthony Morgan K has been there and helped me work on the truck. We spend a lot of time in the garage moving this, moving that. Just sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it's nice to have an extra hand there to do some of that work. And so they really helped us out a lot. The wife, she's constantly going down, helping me on stuff, do stuff. The little one now, she can actually stand up on your lap and actually drive now. She can turn the steering wheel and make it go. So she's really in the vehicle.
That's good stuff. Well, hey, you can find Mountain Boys Motorsports on Facebook. I know because I created the page, and a lot of our stuff goes into the pictures go onto that page. Feel free to use those, Ernie. So you can find them on Facebook, and I believe it's Mountain Boys Motorsports, boys with a Z, and like it so you can stay up with this really cool league. You can follow Aaron Spallnagel, Ernie Deal, Dalton Vess. There's a whole bunch of Vesses, but there's a lot of trucks out there that you're not always going to see at Dragon events, even though we do intertwine a little bit. So Ernie Deal, thank you for coming onto the show and talking to us a little bit, and congratulations with your 2017 points chase, or kind of, we'll see how the next couple weeks go, and then you can say, you know what, I think I'm gonna get after it, or I think I'm just gonna kind of let this one go this year, So just let us know, and whenever you're ready to come back on, you let us know you got some events you want to promote. Come back on.
All right, well, I appreciate you having me, bud.
Hey.
Bye.
All right, that is Ernie Deal, and you can't get much better than that right there. So we're gonna go next to Sarah Phillips. Now, Sarah Phillips, she does a lot on the East Coast. I'm not the only person that covers the East Coast, guys. I'm just not. I don't even think that I am. And sometimes I get invited to come out to these other leagues, and I always have a great time meeting new people and making new friends. And promote your event, let me know. And then, we might do something like swap coverage, give us full access or something like that, or wants to cover your league. I've put this out there to a couple of organizations. If you know someone that's always coming to your events, and you want to put a camera in their hand, well, we'll do something out. We're filming. If they're going to be there anyway, might as well take advantage. We're going to get Sarah on the phone. We're going to talk to her. Because this is not someone that we talk to, or that you're probably going to hear from a whole heck of a lot. So let's have her on and talk to her. All right, Sarah.
Hello.
Hey, Sarah Phillips. How are you? Good. Hold on. Let me make sure I got you turned up. Good. Okay. Yeah, I'm well for Wednesday. I'm doing pretty good. And you're doing okay?
Yes. Currently, I'm doing okay. We're kind of on edge about the rain benefits. Truck and tractor and garden tractor pull this weekend in Connecticut. So we're on edge about that a little bit, but other than that, we're doing great.
All the way up in Connecticut. I did not realize you go all the way up there.
Oh yes. Yes. Huh. This year I have pools in 4 states. We're in Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut.
Wow. Now I said that you're here from Delmarva. What part of Delmarva are you in?
Well, as most people know, I am traveling back and forth to Massachusetts all the time. But Massachusetts will be my new home, but we're not disclosing the official move date.
Okay. So Mass in the future. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, and who's up in Massachusetts that you go up to see all the time? Who's that about?
Well, yes, my boyfriend is Derek Gordon. He's got that famous little street truck,
Yeah.
just happening. So, yeah, kind of like the guy a little bit.
Yeah, it shows. And I'm going to tell you, you guys, y'all blessed my heart last year. Y'all came down a couple times and ran with us. And I was thinking, oh, I just saw you 2 times in a row. Maybe it'll be 3. Maybe, well, it kind of it fell off there. It trailed off there. But we enjoyed having you down. And hopefully you got some experience to come down and see some of that Virginia polar, some northern polars for a loop the first time they get on it.
Oh, definitely. We love traveling. Last year, we all the way out to Indiana, and we traveled down to Rudy's and Virginia. I mean, we really don't have a preference where we'll go. We'll go anywhere and pull anything and meet lots of new people. That's what the sport's all about, is meeting new people and expanding, your horizons. So.
Yeah. Talk about Smoke and Speed for a little bit. What you mentioned the event this Saturday, but what about that one, and what else do you have coming up?
We actually cover everything. We cover polls, drag racing, we have dirt drags, we have dyno events, truck shows. This year we have 5 benefit events with registered charities, 503 charities. And we have our newest, which debuts in November in Maryland and New Jersey. So we actually cover an array of different aspects. But we do cover polls. We have a polling series in Pennsylvania this year, and we also have a polling series that's a Maryland, New Jersey combined series this year.
That is really cool. Now, look, it's let's grow anything with a motor. I mean, there are big time views out there. I know 1320 video does amazing views, and they're just filming street racing, and I know there's a lot of views out there and other stuff. And people ask me all the time, well, why won't you get into this? Why don't you go do some drag racing and film some drag racing? I'm like, I'm barely good at this. I don't want to shift gears and go to try to figure. Now feel like I'm getting comfortable with this, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to get uncomfortable again.
Oh no, you will never get comfortable with it. I can tell you that we are at Cecil County Dragway. We leave there. We go to State College, Pennsylvania, which is about 4 hours away. We come back to New Jersey the next day. We have weekends where it's been, you hit 4 different hooks in 4 different states. So you really love the sport. You have to give it your passion. And it's pretty much the same idea. You cover the trucks, you cover the drivers, you ask them about their families. You have to be in touch with your competitors. You have to be in touch with your fans. It's basically the same, whatever their main goal is, whether it's smile or pull a sled or get the dyno numbers, whatever it is. So just have to be in tune with your audience.
Yeah. No, and I'm not trying to suggest that I will never do that kind of stuff. I am busy. I am year-round busy with just tractor pull. For me to take something else on, it would just be a lot. It would need to be kind of like your situation where you commit to it full time, because this is your Smoke and Speed is your full-time deal now, right?
I am full-time with Smoke and Speed. I have I have kicked back my nursing. I'm also CNA assistant. So I kind of do that on the side. I was full-time there. I did work 2 of those. The Smoke and Speed thing part-time, but this year it's just not an option. I have events every single weekend, so we've got to just bite it and do it and see how it turns out.
Yeah, well, we want to see you guys grow, and we'll help out any way that we can. So what's the status? Let's grow polling. What's the status of polling your way? Is it healthy? Where does it need to grow? And how's the fan base?
Well, I definitely can say that polling in general is, I feel like, making a comeback. I've noticed my events solely are growing. I I've noticed that the street truck thing is now a huge deal. There's street trucks all over the place. That work stock class is kind of taking off. I know the bigger classes have kind of, in my area, have kind of sucked back a little bit. But I'll tell you, we have trucks that are built. Hey, I got this truck, it's getting a new motor. I'm coming out this year. I promise I'll make a pull. So I feel that it's definitely making a comeback to what I remember. So I kind of, I'm very hopeful for it, and I really hope that organizations can kind of like lock their rules in together. I think the rule changes hurt a lot of and choosing where they could and couldn't pull. Right. So now that we are in multiple states, it allows us to run the same set of rules, and they're kind of used to it. And that we can all work together, then I think that we can definitely build the sport up.
Now you have a video of the truck that gets pushed and lifted by the sled. Now we don't want to see that happen. We love oops reels. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we don't, because I do, but we want the sport to be safe. But at the same time, right? We want their mom and pop's truck. We would hope that they would buy their own truck and pull it, but we want them to at least get their toes in the water and realize, hey, I need to put a $40,000-$50,000 commitment down on this vehicle if I want to be competitive. Those types of situations, should we have or an open street and it's truly open? What do you think?
Well, actually, myself and my boyfriend Derek, two of my really good friends, Tyler Bransford and Matt Chapman, we sat down over the wintertime. We went to PRI. We did a lot of things, a lot of research on this. We came up with a class that is an unlimited, not for gas. We kind of are still working on the gas situation.
Right.
But we actually came up with a class where you can run any turbo. You can run any setup that you have. It's a 20-inch hitch, and you can block it solid. We allowed any turbo, have a huge single, compounds. You can have triples. You can have whatever you want. And that's kind of the basis of our King of the Street Challenge, too. We took, there's a lot of kids out there with street trucks that are running 9 seconds. So they want to hook on the weekends. So we took all of those guys combined. We looked at all their trucks, and we looked at what they all have. And we kind of made that class, combined everything together, made that class. And believe it or not, that is one of my biggest classes that I have ran. I've ran it twice. I've had over 20 trucks in that class both times that I've ran it. And it's trucks that don't fit anywhere else, because that's what the kids are driving on the street now. They're calling somebody, they're throwing a big turbo, and they just want to send it. So they kind of need to fit somewhere, and that's kind of what we're doing, that gets their feet they don't break, the drive shafts, all that stuff's still intact. Right. Then they get hooked on it, then it's like, okay, well, I'll follow a set of rules. I'll be a work stock truck, or, maybe I want to be a 2.5 truck or 2.6 or whatever the class may be in their area that they want to run.
If you, I'm not going to rectifies itself. So Sarah Phillips, you win the lottery. What vehicle would you build or have built for you? What would you want to run?
I think this question a lot. I've been asked, why don't you pull? Why don't you race? Why don't you have a truck? And raced. I don't really have things together. I like hosting events. I like taking pictures of other people doing that. So I guess my answer to that would be, if I hit the lottery, I would build a motorsports park where you could have everything rolled into one. You could have your drag strip, your pulling track, your dirt drag track, a built-in dyno, a fuel station, depending on how much I win in the lottery. But that would kind of be something that I would like. I mean, Temple's got a great, decent setup.
Yep.
Rudy's had a great setup down in Julianne, so it's kind of like that's what I would do. I can't really say I have a favorite vehicle. I have respect for a lot of them. I've seen what a lot of them can do, but I probably would not want to be in the driver's.
Okay, well, we're not going to beat that dead horse too much. And I will tell you another one. Earl Wells had a concrete company, and he sold that thing. And then that's when he built the Galot Motorsports, and he started building those super stock Galot tractors, Galot 1 and Galot M. And there's even another one. But, I mean, he's gosh, they're beautiful. And it's everything is orange and black, and then that blue. So, yes, motorsports parks are all. They're kind of making a comeback on the smaller level, maybe not the regional level. So yeah, I don't think you're barking up. That's a good place to be. If I had, I'm just going to assume that I heard you. If I won the lottery, I would build a light limited. If I really hit a big lottery, I think I would build a mod turbo tractor, or be the next Vern Zerby, who has 6 or 7. A light pro stock. That's what I would do. But
that's great. You're a tractor guy. That's great.
Okay. Yeah. Don't look back here on my wall and see all these tractors and not know. I do have 2 trucks. I have Aaron Smothers, and I have Devin Brand. But I love tractors, and we just don't get enough of them in the area. So when I go to these other places, I'm like, ooh, I like that. So that's just me. But I would need. I think you could afford if you hit the lottery. So, and then we could send a guy up your way and do some videoing for you to help you grow as well, because video is king. We've talked about the coverage of truck and tractor pull and motorsports and stuff like that. Are we in the golden age of motorsports now, do you think?
I would definitely have to agree with that. I feel that there are more ways for fans, for pullers, for associations, organizations, media personnel. It's just the way that you can get out there now is just, it's not just a magazine. You know, it's not just what you get in the mail every month. You can log on, you can get on a website, you can get on any social media outlet. Anybody and their brother that has Facebook can live view something, live film something. It's unbelievable the amount of coverage that we have and have available to us nowadays. I mean, it's incredible. You can get on any outlet anywhere. You don't like Facebook, you can get on Instagram. You don't like Instagram, you can get on YouTube. There's a million different ways you can get the information out there. And if you're a fan or a puller, it's very easily accessible. You can follow your dates. You can follow everything. I would definitely have to agree with that. I really think that technology advances are making it extremely easy and affordable for anyone to keep up with motorsports.
No, yeah. I've asked pullers time and again, hey, what would you want to see for your grandma or your mom or dad at home that can't get out? How much would you pay? Oh, I'd pay full price. I'd pay the same as the ticket price. That's what they told me. I would pay ticket price to watch my event. And, and their thinking is, hey, look, okay, I want you to give that money to the promoter anyway, okay, or split funds with it or something. But I'm saving in gas. I'm saving in time. You know, I can work on my truck or my hobby or my business up until the point of the poll, go log in, and then start watching it for the evening. So I understand all that. But what I tell in BFE, Virginia, and stream something, I have to have my own mini cell tower with me. I can't rely on Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, any one of them, or even a satellite that has a connection. It does not have enough to sustain it at a high definition level. So you're talking about spending, I don't know, $5,000 for a mobile unit, and then whatever the monthlies are on that, probably another $5,000 per year. It's exorbitant just to put that together. Yeah, I mean, I don't even like to think about it, but I see people streaming it and live streaming it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just unreal what we have now. So I agree with that. I do think we're in the golden age. I just want people and if you film out there, anybody, film the right way like this. If I see video that's up and down, I just scroll past it. I can't. There's no polling vehicle or road vehicle. You look at a truck and it's built this way. A Ferrari is built that way. A Pro Mod, a tractor, they're all this way. So film them that way. So anyway, I'll come back because I really want to smell the diesel smoke. And
yeah, there's nothing like being there. I mean, I've had people kind of get irritated sometimes. Promoters have said, I don't. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but it's the same as if you go to a football game. It's the same as if you were to go somewhere else, any other motorsports at all. There's nothing compared to sitting in the. There are times when it's kind of a good thing to do. There's actually a guy locally, and his wife was diagnosed with cancer, and she couldn't get to one of his pools, and she said, "You know what? I want you to go. You got to go, and you got to pull the truck." Well, I live fed his pool for her to see it because I knew she was sitting in a hospital bed, and it's like, you know what? She saw it like she was there, and there's nothing better than that. I mean, she live saw it like the rest of us did, and it was, without that technology, things like that couldn't happen. So I definitely would agree with you that I think the technology is definitely a good thing.
I'm glad that you said that because we forget that a lot of fans are sitting at home because they can't get out or their legs don't work like they used to, or and it's just a better option than what I see on TV these days, unless Wheel of Fortune's on. I mean, I could watch Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy all day long, but I mean, I do. I could get lost in my Facebook timeline just watching polling. Okay, so of all the hats that you wear for your league, what's your favorite hat to wear? Promoter, sponsor, acquisition. That's always a tough one. Editor, layout, photographer. Well, I like to say it like that.
I thought about it plenty of times. Plenty of people have asked me this. I can't say that I actually have a favorite one, and I'll tell you why. Because if I were to take one aspect away, and there are so many great memories, and there are so many things that I do or that anyone does that does any of those things that mean so much to somebody. We do the live. There's plenty of events that I cover, video, photo, whatever, that other people can't do, or they can't afford a big photographer to come in else because I would say that capturing moments is definitely a plus. I like promoting. I like running my own events simply for the fact that I feel like, I'm very accommodating to a lot of the guys. And when you talk to a lot of my pullers, drag racers, whatever, what have you, that's what they'll tell you, that and come to the events and things. So I probably can't say that I like one more than the other. Any part that I get to be involved in and that I'm welcomed in this sport is just phenomenal to me. This sport is my passion, and any part that I can be a part of, it's just, I would love to do it and keep doing it. So.
All those Sunday school answers, that's good. You like to do it. You like to do it all, and that's good. I want to take one away from someone else. I understand that, but it's always good to be able to know how to do all those things so you can teach someone. The thing I like to do is I like to tell people and promoters, hey, I want you to go out and hire a photographer to come in here, because they'll fetch $600 for a 30-minute headshot sitting, and I'm like, I don't get $600. I get like $100, maybe $200 to come out and shoot an event. If they wanted someone who was, they're going to pay a pro level price, and it's going to be ridiculous. So there are affordable options out there. Whitt Productions is pretty. You guys get out to a lot of events, and you give back as well, and help use those photos to promote. Hello, I'm a robot. And use those photos to help promote events. Correct?
We do. We actually do a lot of work with Grandma's Mission Angels.
Right.
They do numerous charity events, and most of the time, I don't charge them. I go out there for the day, take pictures, give them whatever they need for their website, for any promotion to help their charity keep going.
Yep.
Any pictures that I do end up selling, I always take it back. You know, I'm already there for the day.
Right.
I'll help out the family. There are events that it is kind of like a far ways to travel, but last year kind of had Derek was pulling most of the time, shoot or film or whatever. I mostly just ask everybody if they mind. Most of the time they don't. I mean, I know when I came down to Temples and I asked you, I was like, hey, you know, I just want practice type of thing, and I came down and I practiced, didn't like any of the shots I got. But anyway, most of the time it's kind of like you do it because you like it. You don't make a lot of money filming or shooting or any of that sort of thing, and like great because so many people just kind of take it off Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, right.
So you already know you're not going to get anything for it. So it's like, oh, whatever. It's great because it promotes everything. So
someone asked me this week. I actually gave them money back. I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to have time. And I said, if I get to it, I'll give it to you for free. Actually, a lot of DVDs. I sell 2 a year. I probably sell 10 photos a year. Where I get the most of our proceeds is helping promote and doing things that other people. I help promoters who don't even unsocial,
right.
Socially connected. Some of the promoters are, and that's okay. That's okay, because there are smart people out there to help them out. What's your favorite moment in polling that you've been involved in?
That's going to be a hard one. Polling is full of a lot of favorite moments. It's full of a lot of touching moments. 95 to 99% of any motorsport camaraderie. And thankfully, we do have those wrecks that are entertaining that nobody got hurt.
All right.
So that, you know, it's kind of something like that where I love everything about the sport. I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to have a good time, whether they're fans, pullers, rivals, whatever they are. I probably would have to say that I don't really have a favorite moment like that. I have you know, that I was involved in, like the video that I had shot before. I have a lot of moments that I've captured, or taken pictures of. You know, there's one of the guys that races, and his little boy loves his truck. It's Bad Med from Antrim.
Yes. And
I have a picture of him in the driver's seat with his dad. He's driving. You know, he's the most adorable thing ever. And Philip's actually driving the truck, and you know, things like that where the kids are involved. Those are the cool things that you get to capture because they're never going to be that age again.
Yeah. So
you always want to capture that for whoever it is. And if we can have moments like that where we're passing on the passion to the next generation, and that's really what pulling is about, is the moments like that. It's about the moments where, you know, somebody's got to borrow a part or somebody's got to borrow weights, or I know Derek always lets everybody and their grandma full of tires, and everybody always calls them for tires so that they can pull. There's moments like that. There's another moment that really touched me a lot that actually my friends had done, and I captured it. I filmed it. It's on our Facebook page, and I videoed it. And it's actually we went to a dyno event in New Jersey at it, and it was for a young man that lost his dad. His truck was there. His truck was finished. And they wanted to run it on the dyno for the first time. It had never been on the dyno. They wanted to run it for the first time, and his tires were too wide, tires on his wheels. And my buddy Tyler had the same lug pattern. All 4 tires and wheels on both trucks.
Wow.
Jacked up at the same time, swapped them so that they could get that truck on that dyno, so his parents could actually see that truck run after they just lost their son. And that was a very touching moment. I filmed the entire thing, and it was like, We were all bawling. It was so, when you have people that care like that, when you have people outside the box so that they can get something done. And when my buddy Matt and Tyler swapped their, I'm glad to be a part of is things like that in this industry, that, and we can cover those things and we can capture them, and that family will have those pictures and that video for forever of his truck actually making it on the dyno.
That's a great story. Just listening to that, I tend to shut it off. I go into a cave. I remember when Corey Omps passed, I held his footage from his last run for forever. I couldn't even look at it. Every time I did, I would start bawling and I'd close the project and move on to something else. I just couldn't do it. Last year we had a buddy at last pull, and he passed away while in the seat of his pulling vehicle, and that's the way that he would have wanted to go. But I remember that next week they pulled the farewell. Someone else was in the seat. I believe it was Rocky, or one of his buddies who was with him, worked with him at Keystone Museum, just down south in Richmond, and it was a really touching moment to see the pulling vehicle just come onto the track and hook to that sled one last time. And now that vehicle's in that Keystone Museum. So there are moments out there that you can't avoid. They hit you like a dump truck kind of thing. And thank you for sharing. I know that's tough, and especially the live streaming of the kid. So his sick mom could see it, that's just incredible. That's good stuff. And those are the kind of moments that I think we need more of in the sport. And not because of the situation, but getting through situations. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, definitely. I remember you actually just brought up Corey. One of the guys in our group that he pulls a tractor. His name's Joe Raposa, and Smoot's dad was there at Keystone, and he said, "How much for the shirt on your back?" And he says, "What are you talking about?" He says, he's like, "I'll give you $50 for it." And Joe says, No. He's like, "I'll go in the bathroom, I'll take my shirt off, and I'll give it to you." And he did. He went in the bathroom, took his shirt off, and gave it to Smoot's dad.
Wow.
And I think his name is Gary. And it's like stuff like that. You really realize how much pullers are a family. It doesn't matter if they're a truck, a tractor, a gas truck, a diesel truck, an alcohol, whatever they are. You really realize how much everybody's a family. You see got a truck and trailer, pulling truck on the back, pulling tractor, whatever, what have you. They're always stopping to help each other. You will not see anybody drive by. Never. You will never see them drive by. They're always going to stop. Hang in. You need a hand. What's going on? Put our flashers on for you. Pull the flashlights out. Whatever. They've got it. That's the great thing about.
Yeah, I've always heard that. There's friendship there. Yeah. One of the guy who was on here last week, his name's Kevin English. He's got on the back of his vehicle, I've seen this on a few. He says, when the hook drops, the BS stops. But then as soon as we're off the track, we're friends again. You know what I mean? But help you. Get you there, get your vehicle. You don't have a hitch. Okay, we'll swap hitches. I've seen that. I've seen them just last week, week before. No, it was Saturday last at Berryville. They took a drive shaft out of one mega run. I mean, and this doesn't take long, but in between hooks, the one hooked, and then they took the drive shaft out. You can hear, and then they go have it in the other one. And it hooked, and it wasn't that long of a time between the two trucks of pulling. So, I mean, there are amazing stories out there. The ones that I'm a part of, I appreciate it, and I know you do too. Is it going into our next part? Did you? Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh my, there's a lot of people. I do a lot of things. I do promotion and film coverage. I help with events, all kinds of things. And there's so many people to thank. There's so many people behind the scenes. They are huge supporters of this. My boyfriend and his brother definitely helped me out a lot of things. Matt and Tyler, they helped me build classes and build events, things like that. My track crew, Ness and Hunter and Derek, jumped in anytime I'm down with anybody that jumps in on the track to help out. I have flaggers, anybody like that at all. Unnoticed sometimes, and definitely underappreciated track crews are definitely a necessity. Diesel Dr. Dino, all the events we ever have. I do have a lot of pulling family that have been there. You guys down there, anybody, any promoters, anybody that just helps me be more of a part of the sport and helps me be welcome is definitely all of the pullers. Or everybody watching out there has anything to do with the sport is we all need to thank and we all need to appreciate each other. Definitely, I appreciate all of you guys and the milkshake guys. Great. They pull for milkshakes. And they said, oh, no, we just want milkshake vouchers for winning. So they're definitely memorable people like that, and you can't forget them, and you have to appreciate them, and I do, and I love all you guys.
Best shout out speech I've ever heard. The milkshake voucher guys. I love that. That's
cracked me up. They're so funny. That's all they've been talking about all winter long. They said, we're not coming pulling unless you get a milkshake truck. Let me tell you, truck in State College area of Pennsylvania, I was on the phone for like 3 weeks trying to find somebody. Somebody, guys, if you're listening, I know you are, but I do have a milkshake truck now.
have milkshakes will travel. That's good.
Yes.
That's really good stuff. Hey, Sarah, you can follow her on Smoke and Speed on Facebook and smokeandspeed.
Yes.
And
correct.
You can
as the ampersand spelled out.
Facebook friends, it's Smoke and Speed with the ampersand on Facebook and just the word spelled out, smoke and A-N-D speed.com. And you never know, Will Whitt might be featured in there and talk about for Sarah. You never know. So give her a subscription and see what she can do. I've read it. It's and thank you for putting that together. And thank you for coming on to the show. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for letting me chat. Everybody that knows me knows I can talk forever. So for a while, I'm sure they're all happy because they took a break from an hour from having me talk to them about trucks.
No, that's activities and get after it. Thank you so much. Right. Sarah Phillips there. I mean, perspective in terms of promoting the sport. I honestly didn't on up there. I didn't know she had that much pull, so to speak. So I've been hitting something all. Been hitting it. It's a box. It's a box. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna open it right now. All right. So this comes to us. Where's it come from? Blackout Performance, Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. I wonder what's in here. I haven't even looked in here. I don't know what's in here. If you want something revealed on the web, 3421 Fort F Drive. That's in Woodbridge. Merry Christmas. This is in April. Performance. They're forward thinking. I like that. All right. Got a little Blackout Performance t-shirt. This is like a total ad. I need to do this. I need to do this for Will Whitt Productions. I've got some more t-shirts in the works, and we'll do those. I have special ones set aside. Wow, there's the robot again. I have some special ones set aside for my video crew. And so thank you very much, Blackout Performance. Jade Talentine and his entire staff up there at Blackout Performance. They do an amazing job on one of one of our the vehicles that we put our name on, Dirty Deeds. And that's a Pro Stock diesel. You'll see that this year. So blackout performance, I appreciate it. And thanks to Ernie Deal. It was a great night. I thought we got to hear a few stories and share a few laughs. Get it real serious there toward the end. Thank you, Sarah, for doing that. But that's what polling is. Polling's all about having fun. It's all about getting serious when it needs to be. And it's all about community. I don't know if you heard that, but it's all about community. Community. And how do we do it? Social. We do it through poll posters. It's from Gladys. I took this poster and I did this for the Gladys Volunteer Fire Department. And I've got a relationship with them. They have grown every year. Can you see this? No, you can't see it. Anyway, they have, here it is. This is the poster. Nope, blocking it. Anyway, that poster was was very, very polite in Gladys at the intersection, the major intersection in Gladys. There's only like a handful of them, but she was just a little thrown back that I asked for it. And I said, and two, I want, oh, sorry. The poll's over, so no one's going to see it or need it tomorrow. And, I like to keep these things. I've had someone tell me that they would go around town and find every one of the poll posters that we've done for that poll and take. So they're meant to be, they're meant to get the word out. A lot of people that don't have Facebook still rely on printed posters. Okay. And ours are sharp as can be. We tell you what class. We tell you who the league affiliation is. We give your local logos. We do. And then we'll even promote it on Facebook with video teasers for like just $100. I mean, that's we're fairly cheap to get out to events because we film and do photography. And it's like $100. I have a client who doesn't want anything but just a photo CD, and I'm like, that's totally cool. I can do that. So thanks to all the promoters and sponsors that helped me out. Thanks for Ernie coming onto the show. I mean, he's the ultimate champion, Family Guy, and the baby gender reveal. I don't know if you saw that video on YouTube, but go look up Bath County baby gender. Whatever the one that has the millions next to it, just watch it like over and over again so we can rank that thing up, and so I can make that come true. Let's take that up to 10 million. You're at it when you're done with that. Go watch some Whitt Productions videos. Those are always fun too. So thanks for the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing with your timelines and to the groups that you belong to. If you haven't already done that, do that. I'll remaster this and put it up on YouTube here shortly. And thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good week. I'll see you.